What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a hump day edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a present of great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm going to talk really, really fast. Here's the thing. This is my job. I prioritize it. I looked at baseball all day, and you know what? I looked at baseball the entire time, leading all the way up to this moment right now. Wow. I was watching my Minnesota Timberwolves play basketball. Shout out Timberwolves. Great first half, low scoring, need to grind it out. And obviously SGA, get more calls, but whatever. Julius Randle, that was a third you did not need to pick up there 2 seconds before the end of the half. But that's neither here nor there. They're up at halftime. Hopefully when you hear this, I'm not miserable. I'm probably going to be miserable, but we're going to talk really fast through this because I want to go back and watch this. And it doesn't change what these plays are. And I know some people are like, just give me the plays. And some people like talking the process. If you like talking the process, I've been in the Discord all day talking process. Lindy 5, all the live long day. I will be tomorrow as well. It's less than $1 a day to come try it out. So $5 for an entire week of the Lindy Discord. You get direct access to me. People tag me all the time. They ask me, what do you think of this play? What do you think of that play? And I love talking through it because it's fun to get into the process of MLB. But that said, I'm going to go watch my team in the second back-to-back Western Conference Finals that they've been in. And my childhood Eric is so nervous right now. I'm so freaking nervous. So I'm going to get going. Producer Jacob is like, get to the point, man. You said you were going to be fast. So without further ado, it's Wednesday. We got picks. We got no locks on the card, but got a play from the NBA game too at the very end of this video. So check that out. Producer Jacob, Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Oh, here we are. We have picks. Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. We're talking leans. These are not bets yet. They can become bets if, well, numbers move. That's kind of the thing. We have an amoeba. It's not stagnant. It's not just sitting there. It's not. Lines move. So do my emotions. Anyway, Cleveland taking on Minnesota. And wouldn't you know it, they did the moronic thing on Monday of playing that game. I said the weather was awful. I said everything looked awful about this series, and I want to bet it. I really, really do. But the weather doesn't look good again on Wednesday. So we've got Cleveland and Minnesota makeup spot here from the Bailey Ober shortened ridiculousness, Logan Allen shortened ridiculousness. So they have to pick that back up. I don't think they're going to try to make a doubleheader work, but I do think what we're looking at, if they're only going to play one more game, and they were talking about two, and it's just stupid. They're in division. They're going to see each other again. Just find a way to play it. Anyway, Williams and Paddock are the two that I've got on the card here for the second game. So Gavin Williams, Chris Paddock. I like what Chris Paddock did last time out. Gavin Williams, he's getting a lot of strikes. It looks like a wide zone he's had for a couple of his starts as you go through Baseball Savant and you watch start by start. But that being said, I really like what I saw from Chris Paddock in his last start. Now, a 4.23 expected ERA, 4.05 ERA does not look all that good. But the one thing I was encouraged about, velocity up over 0.8 miles per hour year over year in his last start, 0.4 now on the season. So if the velo comes back up, Chris Paddock was one of the top pitching prospects once upon a time. Didn't really get it going in San Diego with my Minnesota Twins, just kind of been mediocre. It's kind of the story of Minnesota Twins fandom. But anyway, we are definitely entertaining the idea of Minnesota here because Gavin Williams getting too much respect at times. But yeah, we got to get the confirmed pitching matchup. That's what matters. Cincy and Pittsburgh begins the official slate. And I don't really love this spot by all means. Obviously, PNC Park does a lot of weird things because it just suppresses power in such a way. And then you get Brady Singer, who's been really good in a difficult ballpark there in Great American Small Park, but now going into a better spot. And Andrew Heaney gets the confines of PNC, but has to face a lot of good righties. Now, Will Benson isolated left on left. That's kind of useful for him. And Gavin Lux left on left. He's been one of the better hitters, 261 expected batting average for the Cincinnati Reds. But I think there's lots of ways where this number's still a little bit off. I mean, Cincinnati's like minus 120, minus 125 at open. Yeah, I would be shocked to see this get to the minus 130 number. So I'll assess things in the morning. Obviously, this game is the first off the bat, just after noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific. The Cubbies taking on the Marlins, and I want to just scream at everything that I watched in that game. Now, Dylan Cease, after 5 strikeouts in his first 2 innings, gets us the cover of 5.5. Didn't end up laddering anything yet again on this one, but ended up on 3 strikeout plays in the early window. And I had hit 9 consecutive up until the Cubs and Marlins. I ended up on both pitchers. Jamison Tyon goes 7 innings, only 2 strikeouts, because why wouldn't he against the Marlins with Matt Mervis and Kyle Stowers with north of like 35% K rates in their last month, both in that lineup. And then the other one is just even worse. Weathers gets pulled with 80 pitches, It's 1-1, and then the Cubs put up 13 runs because the Marlins can't manage baseball players. But this is probably the most appealing spot to try to do a ladder of all of these ladders I've talked about, because Max Meyer's not going to get any love in this spot. And the strikeout stuff is indisputably good. 27.3%. The problem is he gives up tons of hard contact, and I don't think we're going to get numbers for Michael Busch, Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, the GOAT himself, or God, as some other people call him. So we're just going to move along. Hit that next slide. Here we go. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Detroit, St. Louis, what are we actually doing with our lives? Palante is announced, but Detroit, they ended up utilizing a front starter, an opener, and then they go to Kiter Montero. He gets lit up. And then St. Louis, 4-4 in this Tariq Skubal-led matchup, and Skubal still got over his K-prop. Thank God I did not short him. I thought about it. 6.5 strikeouts seemed like a lot with St. Louis's lineup, but that's neither here nor there. Didn't end up betting it. Don't think I'm going to bet anything in this one. Also, weather. It's kind of just scattered like pop-up storms, hard to predict night before. So I'm going to look at it in the morning. Chicago White Sox and Seattle. I hate both of these teams so much. I mean, I know the weather is brutal. I know that you really don't want to get after each other. And then they switched starting pitchers to Adrian Hauser and just avoided all of the goodness that would have been coming with I hate the White Sox so much. You should be getting their best starter, though, Shane Smith, in this spot. So thank God that's going to probably save us from doing something stupid here the last 2 days. The first 5 numbers just were popping. And a lot of data sets, a lot of places that I trust liked it too. So I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but whatever. Kansas City taking on San Francisco. This one, don't really want a lot to do with it. We've got Webb and a question mark on the Kansas City side. This is kind of the start of the year where you'll get starting pitcher changes. We've had like 4 or 5 games in the last 2 days that they've just said, hey, we're going to have openers now. This is what we're going to do. And sometimes it's injuries. Sometimes it's Maybelline. I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. We got ourselves lots of question marks. But Logan Webb, that sinker ball has been sinking. It's been good. It should be a decent spot, although Kansas City better against righties. Texas taking on the Yankees up next, under 7.5. The only reason I didn't pull the trigger on this one, because this is probably the most appealing of everything else. It's not Jacob deGrom, because I think he's actually going to be pretty okay. And yeah, it's a tougher ballpark, but Ryan Yarbrough, I don't trust that he's going to be this good to start off the season or like going forward. 22.5% hard hit percentage, 3.46 expected ERA next to 3.70 ERA. You got a number of righties that I do like in the Texas lineup on a day in, day out basis. Now, Adolis Garcia likes righties more. That's why they bury him sometimes against lefties. It makes no sense. Wyatt Langford, really good at baseball. Jonah Heim hits a 9th inning home run that made my heart palpitate because the Yankees were trying to lose me money. I needed that money, and thank God they got that money, honey. Hey, we got more run lines today. So moving along, like I know you do. One more slide. Toronto money line. I don't really have anything of note here, like absolutely anything. Vasquez, I don't think is good. I know my buddy Toast wants to just, I was going to say, herk him off, silent J, if you will. It's just inappropriate thing to say. So 5.61 expected ERA, 3.45 ERA. He can't keep getting away with this, but he does. Kevin Gausman, 491 expected slugging. Nah, no thank you. No thank you. Toronto, no thank you. Minus 148, no data. I had to override it. And Pavin Smith over 1.5 total bases. I wanted to specifically point this one out because normally I love shorting these guys, Pavin Smith, Randall Grichuk, but seems as though the Dodgers, we'll see how things pan out for them here tonight, but bullpens have been, really need to find a way to get through and get a W here because on Tuesday we ended up on that round line. Hopefully they can find a way to cover that for us, but 4 in a row that they had dropped leading into it. Wasn't on any of their other games, so that's fine. But Pavin Smith over 1.5 total bases. He's in a platoon with Grichuk. Pay attention to the bullpens. All right, let's get ourselves to the likes. But first, the Discord. You want to come kick it with me? I would love to have you come kick it with me. Lindy 5, friends, Lindy 5, just $5 for your first week. You go to the link below. You simply say, hey, I would love to come kick it with Eric. He seems like a cool guy. He likes the game of baseball and basketball. Just some things you might have to ask him about. People remember the quiet thing. They don't care. Okay, cool. Lindy 5, friends, down at the link below. It's not just myself. It's Eitan Shander. It's Greg Ehrenberg in the futures department. Love having both of those fine gentlemen in the premium Discord with me. That's why it's called Lindy and Friends. Ooh, unique. All right. We begin the like category here, the like portion of the program, if you will, with Houston and Tampa Bay. And this is another annoying thing that happened. If you hopefully saw the top bar, I mean, Jonathan Aranda didn't end up in the lineup. Obviously, that would only matter on FanDuel, but I put a note in the video description box below. I can't do anything about Houston just changing their mind about pitchers. And then Adrian Hauser for the White Sox, they changed their mind and had a different pitcher there. That's something that's really annoying about doing this, but we're trying to get value over any long-term sample size, and it will smooth itself out. Promise you, we got it covered. But Houston ends up going to that lefty the other day, and now Hunter Brown sets up to go up against Taj Bradley, and he's way better than the average pitcher walking into Tampa Bay. He's actually had an unbelievable start to his season, sub 30% hard hit, 32.2% K rate. My concern is that you're talking about a 1 p.m. start game in Tampa Bay, outdoors, Steinbrenner Field. Yeah, this is just a tough spot for any major league pitcher. And it's only going to get worse as we get into like June, July, August. I know my Florida people know exactly what I'm talking about. It's called swamp acid hurts. Taj Bradley, 36.5% hard hit, 379 expected slugging. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But only a 19.2% K rate for a guy who like got sent back even with like a 30% K rate 2 years ago because they wanted to like finagle his service time. It's just ridiculous. MLB rules are so dumb. So you know what? Let's punish them for it. Taj Bradley, not going to have strikeout stuff. Giving up power to righties as well. There's lots of them between Walker and, even Rogers has had some power to start this season. Jake Myers, Jeremy Pena getting on base a ton. And Isaac Paredes deciding to just start pulling baseballs again. So that's cool. Let's go Houston run line because I really think this is a great spot to get plus 125. Again, a majority of my bets end up being plus money. You got a plus money one here. You got a plus money. Well, it's actually even money. Coming up next, Baltimore and Milwaukee, and yeah, we are definitely going to pick on Sagano, but we're also going to pick on Chad Patrick on the other side. Now, you've seen openers, you've seen other stuff. I don't think Milwaukee is going to roll that out on us and slip one underneath the rug. Obviously, know the rules of your books too. Some, most are live action now with both pitchers, and then if it gets removed, well, you're screwed more than likely. Sometimes it's better to have a bullpen situation, but Tomoyuki Sagano, he can get innings 8. Eight innings. No, not 8 innings, but usually like 6 or 7 at this point. 36.9% hard hit. I look at Sagano as one of those guys who's he's going to find ways to be a mid pitcher. Like he's going to find ways to be a mid pitcher. The strikeout stuff is going to be awful. He's 35 years of age coming over from Japan. His best years are behind him, even though he didn't really have strikeout stuff in Japan either. Chad Patrick, not good. Sub 19% K rate, 44.9% hard hit, does have a 5.4% barrel percentage, and I do expect Baltimore bats are going to get more bang for their buck. That was a lot of B's altogether for Baltimore, but Ryan O'Hearn, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holliday, Celebrate, Adley Rutschman. I expect these dudes, and of course Cedric Mullins, from the left side to cause him a world of pain. And I almost did world around world. We don't have time for that. We have time for the over of 8.5. It's even money at ESPN. Fire that up. I'd be betting this up to minus 110. There's a lot of minus 105s sitting around the marketplace. Square peg, square hole. That's kind of what I like to call these type of plays. It's a home run play for a guy who's starting to make more contact, who's starting to get away from some of the strikeouts that have plagued him to start off this season. In fact, Matt Olson's down to just a 23% K rate. Now he goes into Washington with it looks like pretty decent hitting weather against Trevor Williams. Now, AJ Smith-Shawver has looked a lot better in recent starts with the strikeout stuff. The hard hit is still there. I don't know if I'm going to end up pulling the CJ Abrams, Luis Garcia, James Wood levers, but I do think that they're in play to try to target him here, but they are not the priority home run. Oh boy. I would be betting this at plus 280. So, I mean, there's like no way that I don't get Matt Olson on the card against Trevor Williams tomorrow. I would be shocked if this comes inside of like that minus 280 number. And that's where I'd start betting it out. I have this inside of plus 250. And obviously you can only project it so finitely. So you have standard deviations to kind of set up where you're wrong about stuff. You don't care? Cool. Great. Next game. Me and Matala Miguel taking on the Boston Red Sox and Garrett Crochet. And Crochet, hey, didn't look very good last time out. Didn't look very good at all. Ends up giving it up because he got to know going up against Chris Sale. Chris Sale looked pretty darn good in his return to Fenway, but Garrett Crochet is still awesome. 29% K rate is starting to get back up there. 36.3% hard hit. It's just that you evaluate him on a different lever. And like he's going to ascend into that ridiculousness that we know and love, but We're not quite there yet. Garrett Crochet going to get a full innings work throughout the entire season this time, as opposed to last year, where he basically said, if you're going to trade for me, you're giving me a contract or I'm not pitching for you. Kind of weird you can do that in baseball. But Tyler McGill, 29% K rate. And here's the thing. I think he's got a very live pitch that's going to get tons of swing and miss against lefties. And that's really what you're looking at when you're facing Devers, Duran, Wilyer Abreu, all of these guys. And what is this pitch that I speak of? It is the curveball. It is just redonkulous. Now, he throws the changeup as well, 36.8% whiff percentage, but this slider specifically that he's throwing to righties now too is lethal. 41.3% whiff percentage. And again, that curveball changeup combo that he's throwing to lefties, 36.8 and 26.7% whiff percentages respectively, 30.8% put away on this curveball. Again, only 5% usage on it, but it's funny how he throws like 4 or 5 fastballs and then zips in a curveball. It's unbelievable to watch. And I think Tyler McGill's a different dude. So we might be extending the boundaries beyond just 5.5 strikeouts, but that's where it is at open, -125 at FanDuel, now sitting -130. It's a bet. You should be betting this over 5.5 strikeouts. Next game. Oh, I got to go watch my Timberwolves. You got to get out of here. We got ourselves Philly and Colorado. Over 11.5 is actually going on the card. You heard me. It's actually going on the card for tomorrow. 11.5. Am I crazy? Well, yes, but Taijuan Walker, he's not good. Taijuan Walker, this is your life. Let me know if you know what song I'm referring to in the bottom bar. My favorite piano player of all time. But Taijuan Walker, 39.2% hard hit, 370 expected slugging, looks fine. But you get at altitude, no strikeout stuff, and walks guys. That is a recipe for disaster. Gives up power to lefties. There are a couple of lefties, Ryan McMahon specifically, that I'm targeting for the home run dance. As for Carson Palmquist, well, he's got a 9-letter last name like me. 5 of them identical letters in the identical places. But yeah, I'd rather be me, I think. I don't know. Major league player. What's his service time? What's his contract? He's the number 9 prospect in the Colorado Rockies system. 5.09 expected ERA, but here's what I'm getting at. 11.25 ERA, 76 pitches, 1 outing. I'm sure he'll get better. I just thought that things might get better. And it was against Arizona in Arizona with the roof open. That's not fun, but Carson Palmquist, not that good to start off. Got this closer to 12.5. We're betting the over. Angels and Athletics getting one more hoedown in the showdown over there in Sutter Park land. We've got ourselves, did I say Oakland? I'm just meaning the Athletics. I mean, they're Sacramento at the moment. They'll be in Vegas a couple years. Still weird that just couldn't have stayed in Oakland. Still, what's Oakland doing with the building at the moment? Are they just mad? Major League Baseball, I think, was mad too. Whatever. Oakland run line. That is where we're going to be going here. JP Sears, I trust a lot more than Jack Hakanowicz, even though Jack Hakanowicz probably had the most unlikely of likely outings last time out. Maybe there's something there. Maybe the 24-year-old starts to put it together, but goes up against the Dodgers, gets himself a win, does the same thing against the Orioles. He's finding ways to limit the damage. 1 run in his last 2, but yeah, this is a hitter's park. This is straight out Oakland. I mean, JP Sears, keep it together for one day. Plus the Angels, abysmal. Even with all their righties, not very good against lefties. Very weird to me. Also, that's it. Let's talk NBA. Before you check out the NBA, though, Lindy 1 Portfolio EV, we're talking the best market-based tool down at the link below. My friends, Lindy 1 gets you 2 weeks of this product for free. You don't know what I'm talking about? Check it out on the OddsShopper app as well. So again, you just click on that link below, goes directly to your desktop. 2 weeks completely free with tons of bets from the NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA, and more. Check it out. Lindy 1 down at the link below. Alrighty, Eastern Conference Finals time. Game 1, Lego. Actually did a lot of running of simulations for this game because Andrew Nembhard, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Nesmith, Miles Turner, your supposed starting 5 here with Obi Toppin, Ben Shepherd, TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin. There are 9 guys that they'll play into the bench for. You're basically getting a 7-man rotation for the, I almost said the Yankees, the Knicks over on the other side of this one. 4-point favorites in the Garden. This place is going to be insanity. But you basically get McBride and Mitchell Robinson for minutes, and that is it off of their bench. Indy has a couple more pieces that they can move around and figure out exactly how they want to make things work. Plus the whistle. You're kind of at the mercy of it in the playoffs. So far, so good. Hasn't been, well, course, my Timberwolves get screwed in that first half. I don't even know what's going on right now. I have it paused. I will not look until we get off of this call. Or the call is a video. But anyway, the Knicks, we just saw a lot of different schemes. So anyway, I love to do individual player-by-player analysis. I love to model it out there, and then I predict the box score. It's just kind of this beautiful feature that exists on Dunks and Threes as you move around minutes and take a look at how teams are playing. And one thing we know about the Knicks is they're going to try their best to slow this thing down into the half court and let Jalen Brunson do things in the half court. Transition is much more what Indiana is going to try to do, try to get out in the fast breaks, transition threes, Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton playing way better than most people give him credit for, and it's kind of what most people from Iowa State get in their lives. I went to Iowa State too. Brock Purdy got $250 million. He's the GOAT Iowa State guy now. Anyway, we definitely want to be betting the Knicks here, I think, in this spot, because I think between the home crowd, between the Knicks just cohesion right now and everybody being healthy, at least for now, because again, you have more chances when you're not playing deeper into your bench to potentially have guys get dinged up, and that is a problem. You just saw that there with Boston. We got to be laying the points. Knicks -4. I see, if anything, this being a very, very competitive game, but modeling is modeling, and this is closer to 6 for me. Give me the Knickerbockers game 1, and then we'll talk game 2. That does it for a quick and easy edition of MLB and NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. I don't know, there were 16 MLB games. We got a brand new series to talk about in the NBA streets. Pretty square play, but I feel pretty good about it. 4.5s coming down to 4s. I feel good about taking the 4, having that be a push. You only win by 3 or less. Then I deserve to lose. That's fine. It's not fine. I like money. Producer Jacob, thank you so much, my friend. Until next time, hopefully the Timberwolves get it done. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA and MLB streets here on Wednesday.